Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review. Continuing a theme of looking at the biggest selling trad beers. Today we're going over to Wychwood, aka Carlsberg Marston's, for their King Goblin, 6.6% Imperial Ruby beer, basically the bigger brother of Hobgoblin. Let's hope it is a better beer than Hobgoblin, because I had that the other day, and I've got to be honest, it was woeful. So the King of Legends, deep ruby in colour with aromas of treacle toffee and dried fruits, brewed with a blend of the finest crystal and chocolate malts and the addition of sovereign hops, packed full of sweet caramel, coffee and earthy roasted malt flavours for a warming seal of approval. I'm just looking at the... doesn't tell you the ingredients, funnily enough. So let's see what it's like, see if it's changed. For years, this was my absolute favourite beer. And, you know, taste buds have changed over the years, developed and all that. So, let's see. I'm hoping that it's the same. From what members of the community have been saying about Shepherd Neame's Bishop's Finger and Spitfire being played around with, it doesn't bode well. Like I say, Hobgoblin is a shadow of its former self. And Fuller's ESB, I actually thought that was okay. But I have had beers recently from different breweries that have not been okay. So we'll see. We'll see. So, nice dried fruit aroma on this. Pour itself is looking, you know, like a dark amber pour, a little bit of carbonation going off. Finger of white head. Yeah, it smells okay. Let's get in. Let's taste. Friday night. Dry fruits. Yeah, a bit of treacle going off. Up to present, not too bad. Oh, thank God it's Friday. The face is starting to heal a bit now. This swelling's starting to go down. It's still quite thingy here. Wife says you can see a mark on me. I'm not sure if that's it there. Oh, there, bruising and stuff. And they've got this here, this blooming thing here, whatever that is. Looks like a mega spot from here, but no idea. I mean, to be fair, it does feel like a spot. I don't squeeze out too much in case it causes issues. Oh. There we go. Yeah, it seems to be all right. It's a damn sight better than its brother, Hobgoblin. Why the difference? I mean, Hobgoblin sells a lot. Is a big seller, or was a big seller. It's funny, you know. I've ordered some beers, but they're not. I thought they would have been here today, so I've ordered like 40 beers from Smiling Grape. But not come yet. So I was really hoping the beer today, which would populate the wall a little bit at least. I think the top shelves. I don't. At some stage, it will repopulate, but I look at some of the supermarket stuff at the moment, and I'm just not interested. So a lot of it's either stuff that I've drank hundreds of times before, or I just don't fancy this new craft beers at the moment, and I don't fancy the prices either. Literally a few weeks away before I start getting the shed back to normality, and hopefully the wife's going to start selling some of this stuff afterwards as well. Start recouping some of the money she's spent out, hopefully. Bless her, she has spent some money. So yeah, 2 weeks today, the Raggy Redding renewal. If people show up that say they're going to show up, it should be a good night. Brewers, beer reviewers from Scotland, actually in Sweden to be fair. Mr. Rampant Lion is coming to the Reading Vow. Never met him personally, so spoke online when I did do the online thing. Spoke online, and yeah, and I think in Craig's chat, spoke in Craig's chat to him. Mr. Harry, Mr. Blue Nose Beers, Blue Nose Beer Reviews, he's coming. Obviously, the Ramsbury Brewery's finest. I think he's been in some of his beer as well, so, and mini kegs, so that'll be great. Great to get a review of that. Whoa. Especially, well, any of them. I've never had a Ramsbury beer before, so I'm really quite excited to review the beer. You know, and it's funny really because he's in that zone where he reviews beers, and to make your own beers. So if you're making your own beers, you know, and you review beers, then there's a little bit of a flag for someone to say, right, let's have a review of this beer. This bloke's a beer reviewer. Should be the best beer ever, probably. And more than likely it is. I mean, they're doing really well, Ramsbury are. I'd love them to come up here. And hopefully, because there's going to be some local breweries here as well. And if he gets chatting, maybe there's a chance that he'll get a bit of collabs out of it. Maybe the odd collab with Ramsbury. It's a good way of sharing beer from here further down the country. Still not 100% sure the actual amount of people who are coming. Not 100% because there's some people that said they were coming, and then I've messaged, and then they have no got back to me, and it's like, ugh. And I just hope on the day everything goes well. There's enough food, and enough people come. I mean, what was it? There was a wedding, and this is where weddings are quite funny, really, because there was a wedding last week at Kelham, and they invited 80, and only 40 people showed up, and that's shit, innit? But, you know, you invite 80 people are supposed to be coming, and only 40 turned up. Wow. I've not been impressed with some of them people. I really wouldn't. It is what it is, I suppose. I mean, let's be fair. Whatever happens to my wedding, the people who come, they can have a good time. You know, it's a good venue. There's music on. There's food on. You've got the grounds, you know, I've got 2 weeks to get those grounds looking really, really good. And I want people to see what I'm doing. I want people to walk around my kitchen garden area and see and you know see all the vegetables that I'm growing and fruit and yeah. Didn't get many bloody strawberries though. Strawberries disappeared. I reckon the rabbits have ate all the flipping strawberries. We've got rabbits galore around us now. Blooming things. I mean, I'm not a rabbit eater, but so anyway, back to the beer. Let's talk about the beer a bit more. Feeling that nice booziness. You'll be glad to know I think King Goblin has been left alone, which is really weird because you know Wychwood Brewery. I mean, I don't know when Marston's bought Wychwood, but half the beer range is gone, and it's really sad. It must destroy the people, the original people who you know, the original owners. Let me just. So, when did you know Marston's buy Wychwood Brewery? There we go. 2008. Oh. So here, we have taken the decision to permanently close the Wychwood Brewery store and will no longer offer brewery tours to members of the public. It is sad. It is sad when you see some of the icons of the British beer industry took over by bigger breweries, and then the breweries ultimately fuck it up. We only have to look at Newcastle Brown. Look at Newcastle Brown. That is just a disgusting tasting beer these days. Hobgoblin, shit, absolutely crap these days. And obviously lowering the ABV on beers, it never pans out when you start lowering the ABV. They'll turn around and say, "Oh, it tastes the same." That's why recipes are the way they are. And for me, Marston's have done a job on this brewery. They've royally knackered this brewery because half the beers that used to be available have gone. Whether they're available on cask in the old Wychwood area of the world, we don't see them in Nottingham anyway. Don't really see Hobgoblin in Nottingham. I ain't seen Hobgoblin for ages in Nottingham. It might be because I'm not going in them certain types of pubs. Yeah, so it's probably that, but I've never seen King Goblin on cask. Is this just a bottle beer only? Have you tried it on cask? Is it 6.6% on cask? I mean, I'd love to have that on cask. I mean, it's still a decent beer. I won't put it in my top beers anymore because I think my supermarket beers, yeah, we'll class it as one of the top supermarket beers. I still think it's up there with the likes of Fuller's 1845, as long as they don't touch that. Shepherd Neame 1698. I mean, To be fair, that was still tasting absolutely amazing. Abbott Reserve there was a slight funniness with that. So, are we seeing the trad beer wheel changing? Primarily because of the cost of living crisis. Breweries trying to keep costs down. Still charging the same, but keeping the costs down. Eventually, the electric and gas side of things should come down, and the price of malt should come down. You'd think. So there's no way of knowing, is there? So we'll just go over this again. What they say. Treacle toffee dried fruits. Certainly dried fruits. Certainly a bit of treacle toffee. Sweet caramel, coffee and earthy roasted malt flavours. Don't really get the coffee, you know. Don't get the coffee. And for some strange reason, I get like a bubblegum flavour coming through. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I getting bubblegum? Why? One, I don't eat bubblegum anyway, so, you know. But, not for years. But, I mean, the nose is still sublime. Yeah. Even with the air got to it, it's still tasting good. So, will I drink this again? Yes. As long as I don't knacker it up. Out of 5 for me. Years ago, this would have been a 4.55, 4.6 probably. Things have changed. I still think it's a good beer, but maybe nowadays more of a 4.4. If you really bother about bloody numbers and that. It's drinkable. It's quaffable. Yes, I'm not pleased with Marston's and what they've done, even to their own brand. This Carlsberg thing is bad for Marston's. And bad for the breweries that surround Marston's. It looks like they're selling breweries off now. Which one's gone? Ringwood. And you know, I can see a time when Wychwood goes as well. Although they might sell the brewery, unload the brewery, but strip out the brands that they want. I.e., do what Green King do, where they just buy breweries, take over, and then sell the breweries in years to come and brew it all in one location. And can you see that coming? Yeah, you can, can't you? Still get that. I still just get that funny bubblegum taste. I don't know why I'm getting a bubblegum taste. It's really weird. But yeah, that's my review. Hope everyone has a great weekend. For the first time in a long time, not going out this weekend. Son's birthday tomorrow, so no pub reviews, no pub social stuff. And as we're coming towards the wedding, money's getting tighter and tighter. And it's been a year. It has been a year. Been a year of tight stuff. That bloody lottery win would have been, that 5,000 on that card would have just put everything lovely, made everything nice and easy going in. But hey, can't win them all, can you? Cheers, everyone.